Yo guys, it's your boy Kuzu back again with another roadmap to platinum video. So I know it's been quite a while since my last video. I do apologize. In all the craziness that is my regular work schedule, Destiny 2's basically year 1 event, Monster Hunter World coming out with both Behemoth and Arch-Tempered Teostra, and Season 5 of Fortnite, I had very little time to play this game and platinum it, like I promised. So here it is, guys. This is my platinum roadmap, what to do, what you can miss out on to get platinum for Shining Resonance Refrain. So there's one big tip I want to give to you guys. Roughly, platinum in this game takes around 40 hours. I hit 50 hours because of a dumb mistake that I made. And this is the number one tip I can give to you guys. Do not follow the game's instructions. Play on Refrain mode. If you do not play on Refrain mode, you miss out on 3 trophies that are locked to that mode. So, but you're wondering, wow, but don't I lose story? Don't I miss the original story? Guys, the only difference between Refrain and original mode is you get Genus and Exila at the beginning of the game rather than at the end of the game, and it doesn't change any of the dialogue. Literally, the game is exactly the same. It's just they're playable earlier on. So, literally, you miss out on nothing. So, play on Refrain mode. Number one tip. That saves you 20 hours because this game does not have a new game plus, so you do not transfer over anything from each mode. So if you once you beat the game, you're stuck there. There's no new game plus, so huge thing. So here is Shining Reverence Refrain Platinum Trophy, currently at 2.2%. So let's go through everything, and I'll go over the 3 missable trophies. I mean, technically 2 missable trophies in this game. We'll go over those first because everyone wants to know what's missable. So let me go here. Quelled Dragon. So, a point in the game, Yuma gets the ability to turn into a dragon. So, when he gets that ability to turn into a dragon, he can go in berserk if he goes at low enough HP or MP. And what that does is he becomes basically an enemy character for your team, and he basically can destroy you. So you don't want that to happen. So when he goes into a berserk state, just use one of the banned stages, and he'll come back to normal. And that's simply it. The reason why this is missable is because later on in the game he gets his level 2 dragon, which does not go berserk at any point in time. So make sure you get this before that happens, or you will have to play the game again. The last one that's missable is Wheel of Fortune. This is only gainable in Refrain mode. When you do a date event with Genus and Exila, they give you a sigil after the first date event. It's a pink sigil. So remember, do not use those pink sigils. You need to get both. You need to save those vigils until you beat the game and get the special endings for both characters. Then you talk to this girl right over here, Lissalot, who controls the Grimoire. You just simply talk to her once you have both of them, both sigils, and you did their true ends. So you need to do all that before you talk to her. So once you talk to her, she tells you she's the mastermind behind Refrain. Voila, that's how we have Shining Refrain mode. And voila, that's it. So those are your only 2 missable trophies. So we're going to go through everything one at a time. Pioneer of Alfheim. This is collecting 200 materials. Very, very simple. You just got to kill enemies. They'll most likely will get the 200 different materials over time. Trust me. Continental roadmap. This is unmissable. You'll get this no matter how you play the game because every single part of the map will be part of the story map where you have to go. So unmissable. Synthesize 50 different pieces of items or aspects. For the most part, you will get this over time as long as if you constantly do synthesizing. It's not too bad. Super synthesizer. Synthesize a rare aspect piece. So most likely you get this actually pretty early on. You will synthesize probably a rare aspect for Yuma or Sonya early on in the game, and the materials are pretty easy to find. Tuning heard around the world. So this is the most complicated and hardest trophy in the game, as this is the gatekeeper at 2.7%. So what this entails is you must get all the tunings in one playthrough. So you get every character gets 3 tunings for getting 1 tuning to level 30. So you need to do a level up tuning. There's also side missions with Ferdinand, which you give him items and he gives you his scores, and that gives you the tunings. There's also the rare monster quest, which you'll see later on, that gives a tuning for each time you defeat them. And there's sigil tunings, which you have to grind out. So I'll leave. It's a whole lot of stuff. I'll leave a link to where I used to find some of the hidden ones that I didn't know about. For the most part, I did find everything else by myself, but I'll leave it in the comments. Once again, this is the most complicated one, so I'm not going to really explain it too much, as this is the gatekeeper. Maestro, raise any tuning rank to the highest level, so you need to do this anyways to get all your tunings in the game. So once you hit a max level 30 on your tuning, you get more, and that's the highest power level it gets. Knight of Astoria, win your first battle. Literally, this is part of the tutorial. It's not too hard. Dragoneer 4, defeat 500 monsters. Very, very easy. Dragoneer Charge, defeat 1000 monsters. Very, very easy. You'll be grinding a lot in this game, trust me. Like, this is like nothing, the 2000 monsters. Dragoneer Awakening, defeat 2000 monsters. Very, very easy. Hitmaker, achieve a 999 hit combo. So this is best done with Sonya. Because she has a lot of hits in her combos. Then there's also a thing in this game where it's like Tales of Berseria, or I mean not Tales of Berseria, like the old Tales games, where you can just do your regular hit, then you can combo into a special move, then you can keep doing your regular hit. So I'll honestly leave a guide. I'll probably leave a video guide in here that someone showed me earlier on that basically did this is a great guide. Very, very simple 99 hit. It's not that bad. Band member, perform a band session for the first time. Very, very easy. You'll be forced to use that anyways. Center stage, use a band session with each character as a center. Once again, this requires all characters. You can do it on Refrain or original mode, because once again you get excellent genius in both modes anyways, so it's not locked out. But simply you just use every character as a band stage member. It's not that hard. Dragon Heriter, use Dragon Shift for the first time. This is once again, it's part of a tutorial. You can't not do that. Quelled Dragon, we went over that. Dragon Shift tours, won over 100 battles using Dragon Shift. You'll easily get that in time. Trust me, as long as you use Yuma as your main character, which you should, because he is literally the best character to use if you're just starting off this game, you're going to get that over time. Swift Conductor, trigger 10 advantage just counters. So I have a problem with this, because advantage encounters aren't really triggered the way they're supposed to. As long as you hit the back of the enemy when you engage them, you should get an advantageous counter. So once again, yeah, you probably get that in time. 10 is nothing for how long you play this game, trust me. Advancing ability, want to battle without taking damage. Once again, once you get stronger, you're probably going to do this anyways. It's not, literally, look, that's a 97%, and I think you actually get this within the tutorial, because one of the enemies just doesn't attack. Sound of Silence, want to battle with a party member incapacitated. Once again, very easy, especially early on in the game when your characters, if you don't power level correctly, your characters will go down very, very easily. So once again, look at that, it's like a 75% attain rate, which is pretty fucking high. Dragon Touch, raise any party member to level 100. So this is actually really rare because you don't actually have to be level 100, but I insist that you be level 100 before you beat the game, just to make everything easier. So there are two farm methods for getting level 100, and I'll talk about one of the farming methods a little bit later. But the two ones are, when you go to the Grimoire, you want to use egg hunts, and if you don't have an egg hunt, I'll explain it later on. But you want to use egg hunts and just farm those egg hunts consistently, because they give you egg hunts basically spawn rare egg monsters in the Grimoire, and there are two ones you want to look out for: the EX egg and the Master Egg. EX Egg gives around 6k depending on your level. Master Egg gives like 10k around every single level. And the big problem with this is there's no EXP sharing in this game. It sucks. There's a way to boost EXP and there's a way to EXP share, but that's really more end game stuff that you won't get earlier on. And when I mean end game, I literally mean end game. So you can't do any of that. So really you want to focus on 4 members of your party and just keep leveling them up consistently. But once again, you do need to level up someone's tuning, so you got to bring some more people into your party at some point. But that's the first method, is to egg Grimoire farm. The second method is to boss EX farm, and that's literally only end game, and that's when you're trying to do the Grimoire sigil tunings. I really don't expect people to be doing that, but it's one of the fastest methods I've had, especially end game, to level up past level 100. I really don't think people should be using that to get to level 100. So once again, there's plenty of videos I can show you some. I'll hopefully put someone down in the comments. First break, trigger a break for the first time. Very, very easy. This is part of the tutorial. Once again, guard break, trigger a break on blocking enemies 30 times. You'll do that within no time. As long as you keep playing, that's going to happen at some point. Trigger a break on casting enemies 30 times. Once again, This will happen over time, and it's easy to break enemies that are casting magic than those that are literally blocking. So it's very, very easy. Resonance Forte, trigger the resonance 30 times. Literally, this will happen without you even realizing it happened, so don't worry about it too much. Use Force abilities 100 times. This is your special abilities that you can use outside of your normal combos. Very, very easy. You're going down, defeat a rare monster. Once again, as long as you've been fighting everything, or even try to attempt to fight stuff, you'll get this, trust me. Requiem for the enemy. So this is what I'm talking about. This is what I was talking about the rare monsters. These are the hardest monsters in the game. Once again, I'll leave a guide for all this that I used in the comments that I used for some of them, because I pretty much knew where all of them were, but I just wanted to make sure. But these are the monsters that you also need to beat to get some of the rare tunings in the game, and they're all level 100. They're only accessible once you beat the game, so you can't get these without beating the game. So here we go for the chapters. Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4, Chapter 5, Chapter 6, Chapter 7. And I want to put special attention to Chapter 7. And this is probably where people basically stop playing the game because they didn't level up the correct characters. So why do I say this is the chapter? Because there's a part at the very end of the chapter where you're forced to use two characters, Agnum and Leston. If you have not leveled them up, you have to grind around 50 levels in order to get them battle capable in order to fight that fight. So if you haven't leveled up Agnum and Leston, this is a very serious problem because you are forced to use them on that fight. And it's like a 3-stage fight against very tough enemies. So once you do that, you go to the main dungeon. Problem is with the main dungeon, there is no saving, there is no heal points, there's no shops. So you have to beat all that in a row. So that's why I very highly suggest to start EXP grinding at Chapter 7 to at least your level 80. And once you get past level 80, it's very hard to level up, so you want to wait till Chapter 8 to go to level 100. And that's when you should be done doing all your level ups. And basically, you're pretty much good for the game. Rest that way, so you don't have to grind up anything else. So once again, Chapter 8 is the last chapter. I have some qualms with this, but it is what it is. This is getting everybody's special endings for all the characters. To get the special endings, you need to go on four date events with them. And if you don't have enough, heart points or whatever you want to call them by the end of the game, once you beat the game, basically the shopkeeper sells you the heart points, the heart point items for like a lot of money. But once again, by the time you beat the game, you're gonna have like a fuck ton of money if you've been farming the egg hunts. So in the grimoire, so it's not that bad of a deal. You can just literally save, just buy a bunch for one character, get the special ending, just redo it all over again for each one. Because once again, if you level 100, the final boss it will literally take you like a minute to beat. It's not that bad, and I prefer to do it that way. And once again, these are the two trophies locked to Refrain mode because you can only get them in Refrain mode. Heart to heart. Once again, this is your date event. Once again, once you get enough heart points, you can go on a date event. Simple enough. I don't need to explain that too much. Oh, I mean, this is the night event. Have your first night event, which goes into your first date event. My bad. But you'll get these in time. It's not that bad. And know thyself. Acquire 100 traits. Once again, very, very easy. The game will basically give you all that within time. So, guys, that's my kind of quick roadmap to Platinum. I'll leave anything I use below in the comments. Once again, thank you. I know I've been a little bit away for quite a while. Until the next one.